and that would have been the end of Hiccup if it had not been for the extraordinary bravery of a certain toothless Daydream. Toothless, if you remember, had refused to join the battle at Death's Headland. He was Toothless, if you remember, had refused to join the battle at Death's Headland. He was intending to fly off somewhere down the coast a bit and lie low till it was all safe again, but he stayed at the highest point for a while, terrorising birds and rabbits. He must have been having a lovely time doing this, for he did not hear the approach of Stoic and the entire tribes of hooligans and meatheads until Stoic grabbed him around the neck. "Where is my son?" said Stoic. Toothless shrugged his shoulders rudely. "Where is my son?" bawled Stoic with an awe-inspiring yell so loud that Toothless' ears trembled. Toothless pointed to Death's Headland. "Show me," said Stoic grimly. Under Stoic's fierce eye, Toothless reluctantly flapped off toward Death's Headland, followed by the two tribes. They arrived just in time to see the terrible monsters throw Hiccup high in the air and catch him in his mouth like a whelk. So much for the fiendishly clever plan, thought Toothless. He was about to use this opportunity of Stoic's obvious distraction to sneak off to a place of safety when something stopped him. Nobody knows what that something was. It was a moment that changed the whole world view of the hooligan tribe. For centuries we had believed it was impossible for dragons to consider a selfless thought or a generous action. But what Toothless did next is impossible to explain as being in his own best interests at the time. All his fellow domestic dragons were now flying somewhere over the inner ocean. As soon as they heard Fireworm's cry of "Desert!" those who were hiding in the caves or between crevices or crouched in the ferns rose up in a great swarm and abandoned their former masters as fast as the wings could carry them. The wild dragons from the Wild Dragon Cliff had left hours before, but something kept Toothless from flying after them. Maybe it was Stoic's heart-rending, powerless cry of "No!" that caused him to pause. Or maybe somewhere in his self-centered green dragon heart of his, he really was fond of Hiccup and grateful for the hours they had spent looking after him, not shouting at him, telling him jokes, and giving him the biggest and juiciest lobsters. "Dragons are selfish," argued Toothless to himself. "Dragons are heartless and have no mercy. That's what makes us survive." Nonetheless, something made him turn right around, and something made him fold his wing back and fly like a dragon blair to the great monster on the cliff tops, which really was not in Toothless' best interests, as I said before. Toothless flew right up to the monstrous left nostril and started flying up and down inside the nose, tickling it with his wings. The sea dragon lunged up and down, wrinkling his nose like crazy and bellowing, "Ah!" The creature struck his great talons up his nose in a disgusting fashion and tried to winkle out the tickling flea that was irritating him. Toothless didn't quite get out of the way of the talon in time, and it scratched him on the chest. He hardly felt it, though, as he was excited and carrying on, tickling regardless, dodging the probing dragon claw. "Ah!" bellowed the sea dragon. Meanwhile, Hiccup was being thrown this way and that inside the dragon's throat as it shook its head from side to side. He was trying desperately to hang on to the spear, which was in danger of becoming dislodged any second. "Chew!" the When Dragon finally sneezed and hiccup, the spear, Toothless, and a great deal of perfectly revolting snot were scattered over the surrounding countryside. Toothless remembered, as he was shooting through the air, that boys can't fly. He folded his wings and dived after Hiccup, who was rapidly heading towards the ground. Toothless grabbed hold of Hiccup by the arm and tried to take his weight. Dragon talons are extraordinarily strong, and he was able to break Hiccup's fall, not entirely, but enough so that when Hiccup crashed into the heather, he was travelling reasonably slowly. Stoic came plunging frantically through the grass. He picked up his son and faced the monster, holding his shield over Hiccup's unconscious body. Toothless hid behind Stoic. The Green Death had recovered from his sneezing fit. He shuffled forward, bleeding horribly from the fatal wound in his chest and throat. He lowered his terrible head till it was on a level with the top, and his evil yellow eyes looked straight at Stoic. "Time to die for all of us," purred the Green Death. "You can't save his life, you know. You are quite hopeless. My fire will melt the shield like butter." The Green Death opened his mouth. He slowly sucked in a breath. Stoic tried to grab onto the chunks of heather to hold them fast, but Stoic, Hiccup, and Toothless were being dragged slowly but surely toward the